Well, hello there. I'm Mama Jane's husband, and this is
Mama Jane.
And we are currently sailing off the coast of South Africa on Norwegian Dawn, and we are heading towards Namibia, and we've had a wonderful cruise so far. And we left Cape Town just over a week ago, and before we left Cape Town, we had a few days in Cape Town itself. And one of the things we did on one of the days was the hop-on, hop-off bus and the cable car up the Table Mountain. So if that interests you, watch on. So, Mama Jane, we arrived in Cape Town at 8 o'clock in the morning, and everything went exceedingly smoothly. So by 11 o'clock, we were on a hop-on, hop-off bus.
Now, if you've seen any of our videos before, you'll know we like a hop-on, hop-off bus. It's a very good way of having a quick look round at everywhere, and then it's up to you where you visit separately, or you might think, well, none of it's worth looking at again, and that's good because you've not wasted any money. So you buy a ticket for, was it for 2 days or just 1 day?
1 day.
1 day.
We bought the one that was for 1 day,
Yeah.
for the red and blue line, and for the cable car included, which was skip the line cable car as well. Important to get the skip the line
Yes.
ticket for the cable car because the queues can be massive. As it was when we went, there was a queue and we did skip the line, which was useful, but when we came down the Table Mountain it was much longer.
Oh, much longer.
And sometimes it can be really long. You can be waiting 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
So it's important to get the skipper line.
Yeah.
Also, I think it's important to buy it before you fly out, because it's much cheaper than actually buying it out in South Africa. We got a right deal buying it online directly from the South African company that deals with it. Bought it from their website and got a much better deal than going via tour or Get Your Guide or something like that, one of the resellers. So try and find the absolute website itself for the company, buy it there. They send you a digital ticket. It goes into your iPhone wallet, and then when you get there, you do have to get it scanned to produce the actual ticket. So you need to go to one of their offices to do that. They did say online that it will work directly on the bus, but it doesn't. You have to go to one of the offices. Now, because I'm a bit of a geek, I made sure that our hotel was around the corner from the office on Long Street, I think it is, and where there's a bus that you can get on.
We've got the bus stop, we've got the hotel, and we've got the ticket office.
Yeah. I always try to make sure that the hop-on off bus stop is close to where the hotel is. So we got all that started. The people in the office were very helpful, and they got us straight on this bus, and we're away, weren't we?
Yep, off we went. Got to Table Mountain, to the cable car.
Very quickly. It was the first stop.
Yeah. So we
hopped off.
And oh my word, what an experience! Because the cable car itself is an experience. It goes, well, you can imagine, can't you, to the top of Table Mountain, and you get off there, and then it's a big area to walk around, all different things to look at. There's a coffee shop, there's a gift shop, what have you. It just is an amazing place, isn't it?
The views
are spectacular. Well, no, they can be spectacular, and indeed they were for us. But sometimes there is no view, because within minutes the mist comes down. Same in minutes the mist rises. So we were truly fortunate that the mist wasn't down when we arrived.
And the wind can blow up at any minute, and they have to shut
the cable car down. So we were lucky in every respect, really. That we were straight up there.
And the cable car itself is a fairly unique one. I've not been one on like this before. It's very quick going up, but it also rotates around while you're doing it, so you get a 360-degree view. So don't worry about being on the wrong side when you're getting in, because it rotates and you can see everything.
Yes.
And it's even the journey up is fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can walk up, and there are trails for you to walk up, but we decided against that.
And also, I've been listening to people, and they've said that it is quite dangerous.
Is it?
Now, because this can be quite unpleasant people up there. So it can. I'm sure when you consider how many people walk up it and how many events there are, it's safe. But if you
So there are paths, proper paths laid out around Table Mountain, and there's 3 different walks you can take. One is 15 minutes, one is 30 minutes, one is 45 minutes. You can also go off piste, and if you look on the internet, they'll tell you how to get to this secret beach actually, where the water, there's a small lake and a beach that's formed from the water coming through the rocks. So it's freshwater lake, and the internet can tell you how to get there.
And perhaps that's when it is more dangerous, when you go off piste.
Going off piste.
Yeah.
But we spent quite a bit of time. Probably a couple of hours up there, weren't we? We were up there a couple of hours. It fascinating watching the clouds forming at the top of the mountain, and I've got some great video which I'll drop in of that. Absolutely fantastic, amazing moment, really. But the all-around views, the views of Cape Town are quite staggering. You can see some of the beaches along the routes that we'll take later in the bus. It was just staggering. So if you can get up Table Mountain, do it. What I would do is buy the Hop on Hop bus ticket for a day, and then check that the Table Mountain's open, and go early. Go early in the morning, once they've opened Table Mountain, so that you're getting up there as soon as you can. That would seem to be the best approach. So don't go. Try. It's got to be the highlight of the tour. It's even better than the wine tour that we did. See the other video, probably, I don't know, debatable. But get your bucket list stuff in early. Cape Town. So we came back down. And then we went on the rest of the journey. On the Hop on Off bus, which took about an hour. Do you think? And we went round the various stops, and around the city. It was really interesting to see around Cape Town and get our bearings and everything. And the red route is just based in the city itself, just taking us around that part, and then it goes to some of the coastal areas and then loops back round into the city, takes you to the V&A waterfront, takes you to a couple of other stops that you can get off at. But then we went for some lunch, didn't we?
We did.
In one of the local hostelries, and we had a good food's fantastic in South Africa, very reasonably priced. And then in the later on, then once we had some food, we got on the blue line. Now, whether you're on the red bus or the blue bus, the colour of the bus is red. So you need to look whether it says red line or blue line, because they both. And you also, if you want to go to Table Mountain, you need to check that it's going to Table Mountain. Okay.
Yeah, it actually says on the front of the bus.
And then the blue line, it doesn't look much further than the red line, but actually the on the map it's deceiving because it's not to scale. So the blue line run will could take you 3 hours, and we didn't get off. So it's a good old journey, and you see a lot of countryside. You go you go all the way around the coast part. You stop at a garden, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
So there's these famous gardens on the outskirts of Cape Town. The name escapes me, I've forgotten it. And then you go around and you go, the first bay you pass is Llandudno. It's called Llandudno Bay. So there must be a Welsh influence down in Cape Town for some reason. Now you don't stop there, but you do get some fantastic views, and I think that's where you can see Chapman's Peak at its best. And then you go a little bit further on and you come to Camps Bay, and that was nice, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Nice beach there. We didn't get off on this time, but we did visit Camps Bay later in the week on a Uber. And then from Camps Bay, before Camps Bay, after the gardens, before Camps Bay, we go to Hout Bay, don't we? Which is a little fishing village, and we went back there later in the week on a Uber as well. Now the thing about Hout Bay, and it's largely me talking here because Mama Jane was resting on the ship at this point. You fancied staying on the ship and having a bit of a rest and recuperation, didn't you? So when we went to Hout Bay, went there by Uber, very easy, and we should have been going on a seal snorkeling, but the weather was too rough, so we just went out to see the seals on Seal Island, and that, wow, goodness me, that was worth going out to see them. Great journey out, some fantastic pictures, and we also saw some dolphins while we were on the way, which was always good to see some dolphins, and always good to say hello to the dolphins.
Every year we see a decrease in ducks being born on this island. There are a few reasons why Dacre Island is not ideal for breeding. One is the sea can get very rough, the ducks get stripped off the rocks before they can swim, and then they drown. They usually only start to swim from around 2 weeks old. The second reason is that the island gets overcrowded, the ducks get squashed and trampled on by the much larger bulls that weigh up to 350 kilograms. Seals eat, on average,
The weather was rough. It was too rough to snorkel out there, so glad that they made that decision for us. And then we got the Uber from Hout Bay to Camps Bay, and at Camps Bay you see the reverse side of Table Mountain, and I think the peaks are called the 12 Apostles, maybe.
They're not called 12, they're called the Apostles.
The Apostles,
of which there are many.
There are many.
Yeah.
Okay. And at Camps Bay, there's a natural pool, swimming pool, that's formed, and you can swim in this natural pool, and we did. And I was very lucky on this clear day to get a fantastic view of the Apostles Mountain range in from the pool. We also saw some fishes swimming in the pool as well. It was a pretty good visit to Camps Bay, and you can get there on the hop and off bus, but if you want to do that and stop at Hout Bay and stop at the gardens, you need to devote a whole day to the blue line. You can't do it and the red line in the same day, because you need a couple of hours at each stop.
So if you wanted to do that and you were staying in Cape Town for a few days, you could buy a ticket that lets you do a couple of days.
Couple of days, yeah. And
okay. Can I also just point out that I am not really lazy. I want to
No.
I have a bad leg,
Bad.
so please just think about my bad knee.
Yeah. Then, but you saw everything.
I saw everything from the
bus.
From the bus, yeah.
And the Apostles, even though when we passed, there was a lot of mist around.
Yeah.
They were a fabulous
so,
sight.
yeah.
Absolutely amazing sight which you
Yeah.
could see.
Oh yes,
yeah.
yes.
And the
Yeah.
beach and everything,
Yes, yeah.
and the waves pound this
Yeah,
coastline.
pounding.
So you get a lot of spray shooting
Yeah.
up in the air like this.
Yeah.
And if you look out carefully on the rocks, you'll see the invariable seagulls, but you'll also see cormorants, and you'll also see seals.
Mm.
And they've obviously got their own perches that they like. And the other thing that you'll note in the seas around Cape Town are kelp forests.
Yeah.
They're immense, aren't they, Mother
Yes.
Jane?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can make swimming very tricky, because if you get
Yes.
tangled up in the
Yes.
kelp forest,
Yeah.
you're a goner, really.
It would be difficult if you're on your own, which is another reason not to swim on your own.
And then it takes us, eventually the blue line and the red line merge, and it takes us back in and back to our stop, and you can stay on. And it's a great way of actually
Yeah.
seeing Cape
Yeah.
Town and
Yeah.
the bits and everything. All jolly good.
Mm.
So that was a great start, weren't
great
it?
start,
An
yeah.
absolutely
Yeah.
great
Yeah, it was.
start
Yes.
to our stay in Cape Town. So for now, it's a goodbye from
Me.
and it's a goodbye from
Him.
so goodbye.
Bye.